All right, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. I definitely appreciate everybody coming through. I got another special guest in the building, and I'm excited about this one because my man Gabe actually just started his new channel, and I wanted to highlight it and bring him on, let him talk about this channel. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's tech related, I definitely support. And Gabe is one of those people that I've met on YouTube that actually does what he says he do. You know what I'm saying? And provides great value to the actual space. So I wanted to bring him on. But let me give a couple of shout outs right fast. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I see y'all in the building. Lovely angel lady, my lovely wife. Good to see you. Princessa, good to see you. Yeah, and Struggle Security. That's Gabe's new channel. So just go down and click that link, subscribe. I definitely want to, support him. Mo, I see you in the building. Tia, good to see you. We here. What's up, bro? We here. Who else we got up in here? Clark Fitness. What's up? What's up? All right. And I see Struggle Security already using those wrench capabilities. Shout out to you, man. Hey, hold on one second. I'm about to bring him up. So let's go on and get right into it right fast and bring up Gabe. What's up, Gabe? How you doing, man? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, yeah. You up there? Yeah, no problem, no problem. And I kind of I try to do my best with the introduction. I was trying to make this thing a little bit more, I guess, somewhat professional. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see. I kind of redesigned some of the background and the way everything is set up when I do the interviews. But man, I'm excited you actually uh starting this channel, bro, and that's why I really wanted to bring you on so you can actually talk about it and we can share it with my audience. Because most of the people that know me, they know you. I brought you on like twice, and done interviews. So excited about it, bro. So yeah. Yeah, I know, right? But so for people, oh, they can't hear you. Hold on, 1 second. Yep, I'm playing around. I think I got you right now. So there you go. Say something.
How about now? How about now? Check, check, check. One, two,
Yep.
1, 2.
Yep, you good. I'm sorry, man. Everybody hear me talking to you, but they don't hear you. So sorry about that, man. But
And they missed all my jokes, man.
yeah,
Dang. They
I
missed
know,
all of the
right?
jokes. That's all
But
good.
hey man, so for people that don't know you, just go on and
hmm
introduce yourself and and just let everybody know what you're all about.
Absolutely. How's it going, everybody? As it says in the chat, right? I got a new name or a new YouTube channel. It's called Struggle Security. And I think initially people kind of get that title or get that name kind of confused. We'll get into it a little bit more, but my background is very much so. I pretty much started off in engineering, right? Electrical engineering is what I did in my undergrad. And then I transitioned over time into cybersecurity. And I actually have a video about that on the Struggle Security channel where I go over all of that information. So pretty much I have transitioned from electrical engineering roles into cybersecurity, kind of went on a roll, was doing a bit of contracting work where I was kind of getting my hands into the different tools, whether it's penetration testing, incident response stuff, digital forensics, packet capture analysis, like a lot of different things that you do in cybersecurity. I kind of have touched offensive and defensive. And then eventually I went into consulting. I'm still in consulting, but I went from a security architect to a senior consultant. And now I am a manager for a large technology consulting firm, a worldwide technology consulting firm called Accenture. So that is a little bit of my background. And my wife is in the chat too. She's a big part of my life and a big part of my success. She's putting all the hearts and everything. You got to chill out, chill out. But that's my wife in the chat. And yeah, that's just a little bit about myself, my background. And yeah, that's me. What's the
And
next question? What's
yeah,
the
and that's
next
dope,
question?
man. That's dope, man. And shout out to his lovely wife.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's always good to, have that backbone, you know what I'm saying, that
Yeah,
supports you in everything that want to do in your situation. So
absolutely.
that's important, man. That's why I
Hmm.
always shout out my wife when she come through. So,
Yeah.
yep. Shout out to the wives out there. But
Shout out to the wives.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so struggle security, that is your
Hmm.
channel now.
Yep.
So what made you come up with the name Struggle Security?
I
Where did that
want
come
to ask.
from?
Well, I want to ask you a question first. Like when you first hear struggle security, like what's the first thing that come to your mind? I just want to start off with that. Like what's the first thing that you think?
I think because
Uh
I
huh.
I kind of understand it that we all struggle in the tech field. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, well, and I'm one of these people. I've always been the type of person that don't give off this type of energy that I know everything, even though I may be
Okay.
an expert in something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've never been the type of person to be like, and we've ran into those type of people in the
Oh
workplace
yeah.
that just basically think they're know-it-alls on
Hmm.
everything. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so that's what pops up in
Yeah.
my head as soon as I hear struggle security, because we all struggle,
Hmm.
you know, and we're constantly learning as well,
Yeah.
when we're trying to, navigate this career.
Absolutely. And I think that that's really a lot of what the idea is that I think it's kind of like a soft gatekeeping when you run into those type of people, right? Those
Hmm.
people who act like they know everything. And those are a lot of times the leaders, people who are the managers, the supervisors, the executives at times. They are the people who are presented as the subject matter experts in cybersecurity or tech in general, right? So the reason why I came up with that name is just for that reason, is to normalize struggling in cybersecurity. And I say that a lot in my videos, and you'll hear that a lot. But that's really what I want to do, right? Normalize it, right? Even though I've come to a position where I'm a manager, I'm hiring people, I'm leading out in things, I'm doing budgets and all these type of things. I still struggle. I still
Hmm.
struggle with certain things, and I think that it's normal to struggle. And I think that that kind of presents a different landscape where people feel like because they struggle, that doesn't eliminate them from joining cybersecurity or jumping
Hmm.
into the field. So I think that that's a big type of backing to the struggle security idea. And also, one more thing is
Go
that
ahead.
I want to shout out O'Shea Duke Jackson, a good friend of mine. He always mentioned this whole idea of struggle streaming, right? People
Yeah.
do live streams on YouTube. They're pretty much in there by themselves talking to themselves,
Hmm.
and he calls that, or like they have bad audio or bad video, and he a lot of times have categorized those streams as struggle streams. And I'm like, man, that's just a funny and kind of a provocative title.
Hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, let me reverse it, man. Let me throw that in front of security, because that's what I do. And really, like I said, take something that might be thought of as negative and change it into a positive. So
Yeah.
it can be very much so inclusive of a lot of people. So that's
Okay.
kind of the background of the idea for how I came up with the Struggle Sex Cybersecurity channel. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's interesting way of thinking about
yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we
hmm,
we all have those struggles. And before I move forward, I want to big shout out to O'Shea Deuce Jackson. He's the
yeah.
first person that actually interviewed me on his
Oh
channel as
wow,
well. So
hmm,
yeah, big shout out to O'Shea, man. You know what I'm
that's
saying? He's
awesome.
always doing great things out here, helping put people on, as well as having those discussions that I like
Hmm.
to at least listen to, even if I can't be involved in the conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him. But I seen a couple more people came through before the
Hmm.
billion. Shout out to you, Game Over. Great Britain, good to see you, man. And Professor Black Ops, shout out to you, bro. I'm glad to see you in the building, bro. Definitely always good to see him as well. And if you're not subscribed to Professor Black Ops as well, he's over
Hmm.
there on the AWS kit, putting out great videos about that. I think I shared his he has a playlist with a whole bunch of AWS stuff that he's putting out, information that he's putting out there. So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. And so, Gabe,
Hmm.
man, so what are or what areas, I watched your introduction, I watched a couple of the videos, but is there
Yeah,
any area within cybersecurity that you really want to focus on, or
yeah.
are you just gonna just cover it all?
I think initially I do want to cover it all because it's such a broad field, and really my target audience are those who are new or entry level into the cybersecurity field, and those who are like career transitioners. So I'm thinking starting off with a base of very common topics, things like certifications or degrees, and how to acquire certain skills in cybersecurity, different titles, salaries, right, and just overall kind of really going over the basics to start off. But then eventually, I do want to specialize in some things, want to kind of dig deep, and even show some of my own struggles. I think now I'm getting a bit into that of like leadership, but even like kind of like I was mentioning before, that subject matter expertise. So I'm kind of digging deeper into different technologies like cloud technologies in the form of GCP, or even looking at IoT security. I don't know if you see this book here. I got a book. It's called IoT. I'll show it. I'll bring it closer. It's called, and I showed you this book before. It's called
Yeah,
Practical IoT Hacking. Hopefully, y'all can see that. And those are some things that I want to drill down a bit more into on the channel. But initially, I do want to start off where I'm hitting on a very broad range of topics within cybersecurity for those career transitioners and those entry level people.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's interesting. And if you guys are just joining, I see people trickling in.
Hmm.
This is an interview with Gabe. He has a channel called Struggle Security, which is on the screen right now. I want you guys to go subscribe. The link is down in the description of the video. And for all you mods out there, if you can, just drop the link to his channel so we could try to, get more people over to his channel. He just started this channel, uh,
Yeah.
and I've been waiting for years for him to actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Not
But he finally
years.
did it. Nah, I
Not
know. I'm
years.
just joking.
No, it's good. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So
Yeah.
I want to try to help him get as many people over there as possible because I know
Right.
he's gonna because he's always been dropping gems over here, man. I'm
I
telling
was
you,
just about to
and
say
on
that,
other
man.
people's channel. Yeah. So go ahead
Yeah.
if you want to add a little more.
No, yeah, like so like it's like I feel like I've made a career out of being on other people's channels talking about cybersecurity and tech and engineering. Like if you put my name, Gabriel Agboruche that he has down there in the title, you'll just see like a plethora of videos. Like I know I was going into one organization. Oh, actually, this is last Friday. So last Friday, I was interviewing somebody for a role, like a cybersecurity analyst role within my organization. And as I was going through the interview, she kind of stopped me and said, "Hey, you know, I just want to tell you that I saw you on YouTube doing the interview, and I was really like I really enjoyed the content and the information that you were sharing." And it was almost like surreal, kind of, because I'm like, man, I didn't think it had that wide of a spread or that wide of a audience. But I mean, it a lot of times people reach out to me from all different places saying, I saw you on YouTube. And I'm like, yo, I don't even have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that was some of the backing behind, like, yeah, let me go ahead and start this thing up because it seems like people are enjoying things that I talk about. And yeah, that was some of the motivation there. And also content creators like yourself, right? Like you
Hmm.
said, I've been on your channel multiple times, done interviews, talked about things, kicked it with the people in the chat. And I think that you encouraged and motivated me to start this channel too. So I want to thank you for that and just say like, hey, that's even some more of the backing behind starting the channel.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and see that's the thing, bro. I mean, I
Hmm.
I see people and it's not that many of us in the field. I mean, we can't deny that it's
Facts.
not that many of us in the field as far as black
Hmm.
men, um,
Yeah.
and women. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But anybody I see that's doing something beneficial that can provide, um, I don't know, just or just be able to put themselves out there to
Right.
show that we are in the field. I want to
Hmm.
try to highlight them. That's the whole
Yeah.
purpose for me starting these interviews was just to highlight people that are in the field and currently doing it and
Yeah.
showing that we are in these types of positions and you can do it
Hmm.
too. You know what I'm saying? Because um I don't know about
Yeah.
your history, but I know every position I've sat in, and I've said this on multiple occasions. But every position I've sat in, a lot of times I'm like the only black guy in the room.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so have you dealt with that, and do you want to add to that? You know, if you want to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the conversation, like we were both in the chat during the conversation that was happening this last weekend. It's this whole idea of representation, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we are not heavily represented in a lot of the text fields, and I've experienced the same thing within cybersecurity. Now I see that as a gift and a curse, right? It's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. Let
Mm-hmm.
me start from the good thing, right? Is that I think that my me being the only one or the only African American, ADOS, however you want to categorize it, person in the rooms for cybersecurity roles, I am a lot of times a very positive representation. You know, when people see me, they see excellence in a lot of the work that I do. And I think that I do represent us very, very well. So I think that that is one good thing. It's an opportunity for me to display, like, hey, what you see on television or what you see in other social media or media platforms, it's not everybody. And we all, right? We are a very multifaceted culture, a very multifaceted group of people, and I represent a facet of that. I think
Mm-hmm.
the negative thing, of course, is that you know, a lot of these tech jobs, especially in cybersecurity and other tech jobs, they're highly paid, very well compensated roles. And the fact that we aren't in those rooms means that a lot of times we aren't getting to it the same way that a lot of other groups and cultures are getting to it, right? Getting to the salaries, getting to the roles. And as we see, things are moving fast,
Yeah.
right? Things are moving fast in this world, especially in technology. And we want to be in those rooms too. So
Yeah.
those are the kind of things that I've seen. Is that the good thing is that I can represent us very well, but the bad thing is that I'm not represented highly in the roles. So
Mm-hmm.
I would like
Mm-hmm.
to say that.
Nah, and that kind of reminds me of
Mm-hmm.
actually Gabe
Uh
assisted, and
oh.
this is where I was this is where I was
Yeah.
going earlier, where I was saying people that have, you know, good information to pass along to other people that are trying to get into the field. Gabe actually helped me, you know, with securing a position, the current position that I am in now. And he
Mm.
probably doesn't know it,
I was just about to
but
say how.
we had a conversation when I was
Yeah.
trying to get that position
Mm-hmm.
about negotiating. And
Mm.
you did a live stream with O'Shea at the time, and I
Okay.
think you were talking about negotiating salaries and
Mm-hmm.
how and just how to get the most from the position
Mm.
if you're brought in for the role, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so you actually helped me by just giving me the information and the
Oh
guidance
man.
that I was requesting at the time, you know, when because I think I called
Yeah.
you on the phone. We had a
Yeah.
long conversation about that, you know what I'm saying?
Sure did.
And so
Yeah.
that's the type of stuff and this type of people I want to see put out
Yeah.
here that can, you know, help others, or at least put the
Yeah.
information out there. Not saying I
Mm-hmm.
want everybody to call you, or you want everybody to call your phone. You know, I surely don't want everybody calling my phone
Yeah.
either. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just a benefit when you got people out here that can
Yeah.
provide some value to people that want to get into the field.
Absolutely, man. And I thank you for sharing that, because a lot of times you might be having conversations with people, but you don't really know the effect of
Yeah.
what of that conversation. So I'm happy that that has been able to benefit you. And you know, just like you mentioned, and with the channel, I want to benefit others, right? People who are
Mm-hmm.
in the chat, I want to benefit you all in very similar ways, right? And having those conversations is about negotiating salaries and understanding the skills that are necessary to be successful in certain roles, or even, and I think another thing that we talked about is that of moving up in leadership,
Yeah.
right? A lot of times we want to get in it, but going up higher and higher is something else. That's a different conversation
Yeah, we get
that
comfortable.
happens,
I see
right?
that a lot.
Get super comfortable. I've even had conversations with dudes on YouTube who were in tech that were like, well, I don't want to I don't want that responsibility, because they just always chop off the head of the supervisors and managers, right? Those individuals have much higher expectations. And I could just stay in my role and make my money and be good, right? I mean, that's not everybody,
Yeah,
right? So I
it's
think
not.
that moving up in leadership roles is also something that I want to have some discussions about, or even just it, even if you don't want to do it, it's okay. But hey, let's talk about the pluses and minuses, right? The
Yeah.
pros and cons of maybe staying in your role or moving up into more leadership and executives roles within tech and cybersecurity as a whole. So I think those are some conversations that I also want to have on the channel.
Okay.
Yep.
Now let me ask you this: are you planning on doing any type of interview
Hmm.
type, kind of like
Yes.
what I'm doing right now? Is that
Let me
something in
tell
the
you.
works? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, that's coming. That's coming. You know what's gonna be called? Let me guess. Guess what's gonna be called. Guess what's gonna be called. All right,
um,
don't guess. Don't guess. Don't guess. I'll
struggle
tell you.
stream.
Well, close. Close. It's they'll be called. They'll be called struggle stories, right?
Okay. Okay. All
And I
right.
know you heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
O'Shea talked about that too. But struggle stories, where man, you might be one of the first people I bring in about the struggle stories, where I really want to bring in people where they first tell about their background, who they are, what they do in
Hmm.
tech and cybersecurity. And then the second thing I want them to talk about is that what has been one of their most memorable or the struggle story that they want to share that they went through in tech. What did they learn and what advice that they would give for someone in a similar situation? Just very
Okay.
simple, right?
Yeah.
Who are you? What's your struggle story? What did you learn from that struggle story?
Hmm.
And what advice would you give to somebody who might be going through something similar? So, yes, I do want to do similar things, and they'll be called struggle stories. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah, that's coming.
yeah, and that should be very beneficial, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I mean, we all have our story, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, on how we got into this field. And that's
hmm,
why I kind of ask the questions I ask during these long interviews I do, that,
yeah,
try to bring that out because um like we were stating, everybody has a story
hmm,
and it's different. You know what I'm
sure
saying?
do.
I mean, you can get a network administrator from one
Hmm.
city and grab another network administrator, and they both got into the field totally different ways. You know what I'm
Totally
saying?
different.
So
Yeah,
that's
no, you're
that's an
right.
interesting concept, though.
So
I look forward to that.
struggle stories coming
Hmm.
to a YouTube channel near you.
Yeah,
Struggle stories
yeah,
coming.
yeah.
And I think another thing, like similar to the struggle stories, another thing that I want to do on the channel is called struggle ride-alongs, right? So these,
Hmm.
so it'll be something like, and it's something that me and Lou had kind of did. Shout out to Citizen Lou. He also has a channel where he covers some tech type of information. So
Oh
I
yeah.
was on his channel and we were going through this platform. It's called Try Hack Me,
Hmm.
right? So we were literally like, I hadn't seen it before and he hadn't seen it before. And it's kind of like a capture the flag learning style where you can go like module to module to module answering questions. So I did one of these on his channel and we were literally like struggling through finding what the answers are. We were doing like some web application pen testing type of hack try hack me room. And it was
Hmm.
cool, right? Because we were kind of like, well, we're stuck. Okay, let's go to Google to find this. Okay, let's go over here to find this other thing, right? It was really, I think it was a beneficial session because
Hmm.
it showed like, hey, we don't know everything.
Yep.
You gotta, and we were at times putting our heads together to try to find out how to get past that particular hurdle.
Yep.
So there'll be something also I want to bring out. It's called struggle ride alongs, kind of bringing people, other security professionals or tech professionals like yourself, and we just find a challenge, something, and we'll just break it down together for everybody to witness. So I think that'll be cool, and there'll probably be a stream like this, be a
Hmm.
streaming pro like a streaming type of platform for it. So yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah. That's
that's
dope,
another
man.
one.
That's dope,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, and you're right, man. We all struggle.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Google is my friend as well.
absolutely. Absolutely. Google,
So,
listen, I call it Google University, man.
yep.
Google and YouTube University. I am enrolled. I'm a full-time student in both of those universities. Listen,
Hmm.
I'm getting like I'm always racking up credits in Google and YouTube University. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So someone actually asked a question in the
Oh,
chat,
what's
and
up?
they was wondering, are you gonna go back and do the Advent cyber challenge or
Um,
whatever?
I was thinking about doing it, but
Hmm.
I kind of want to build up a lot of my content before I just jump right
Okay.
there into the advent of cyber.
Hmm.
I think it was cool. I'm familiar with John Hammond. You actually had him interview,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
over here. So yeah, I'm familiar because he did a coordination with Try Hack Me, and
Hmm.
they kind of joined together to make the advent of cyber. So that was a pretty cool thing. But initially, probably not. And I'm sure that they'll do another one next year
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah.
So
Definitely,
so I'll
definitely.
probably be doing that as future content. But yeah,
Hmm. All
yeah,
right. Well, shout out to Kenny Conjo.
yeah.
For the super
Hey,
chat, he
hey,
says, salute to gents. I'm not much on YouTube anymore. Have an extremely busy schedule, which I totally understand, but I know how it
I'm
go.
sure.
But I appreciate what you guys are doing. It's a good look for us. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Hmm.
And shout out to everybody that's coming through. And if you just got here, I'm interviewing Gabe, and he's talking about his new channel, which is Struggle Security. And I
Yeah.
got a bad memory, man. But
No, you
Struggle
good.
Security. So the link down in the description. Also, let me put it in the chat again. And actually, let me pin it. Actually,
Hmm.
let's write something in here so we can put it up there. I keep forgetting I own a channel. I'm so used to being in other people's chats.
Yeah, man. Same. Same. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to adjust, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm an avid channel chat room dweller. I'm a
Yeah.
chat room dweller. So
Hmm.
I got to adjust here. I'm
Oh
gonna have to
yeah.
do a bit of
You
adjustment.
gotta you
So
gotta get a little of an elitist type of mentality when you. I'm just playing,
almost.
bro. I'm just playing.
Well,
Well, let me
hey.
ask you this though. Oh,
Uh-oh.
go ahead. Go
Uh-oh.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. I don't have anything. I'm just
Okay.
waiting for the question.
Let me ask you this, man. Like, now and I don't know if you want me to bring this up or not, but
Okay.
there is, like I guess somewhat of a in certain sectors, not in all sectors,
Yeah.
but in certain sectors where
Yeah.
you've been classified as a troll.
Yeah. That's
Now,
true.
um are you trolling with this channel?
Am I trolling?
Yeah, I'm
Struggle
joking.
sec?
I'm
Am
joking.
I
But
trolling?
I
No, no,
just want to
no,
ask
no.
it though, just
Yeah.
not for me, but just
Yeah.
for, you know what I'm saying?
See
I
that?
know
See
you're not.
that's funny. Right. Because we have a personal relationship. Like we know
Yeah.
each other even off YouTube and whatnot. But it's funny because it's like sometimes I just throw jokes out there here and there. But other times when I'm serious, people still think I'm trolling. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I really mean that. Like I think there was a conversation that was happening around like I can't remember exactly. I get my trolls mixed up. Let's see. We were we were having some conversation about something in tech, and I was telling them like, no, that's not the reality. Like, oh, I think some guys were talking about people who have different type of physical prowess, right? So if you're 6'2",
Yeah, I remember
um,
that conversation.
a black man, and you're like this or something, then that gives you a better chance of getting a role than somebody who's shorter and
Yeah.
might not be as attractive, quote unquote. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I mean, and if it does happen, people shouldn't be there. It's like, oh, go away, troll Gabe. Gabe is trolling. Gabe. I'm like, no,
Mm.
that's I've literally last Friday I've interviewed two individuals. I don't know how they look, really, right? I know how they look on the camera over Zoom
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, or Teams, but I don't know their height. I don't know their weight. I don't know their dress size. I just knew what they could do,
Yeah.
right? I can see their resumes. They were able to explain certain things about their background. And that's the point that I was trying to bring up is that, hey, your skills and your ability to meet certain business functions for roles is way more important than what your physical looks like. I mean, I even knew some people. I did an internship during undergraduate, and it was with like a software company. And we literally had someone who was blind who was on our team, and he was the lead. So
Wow.
it's like people are people who are kind of tech adjacent comes up with a lot of different ideas about what it's like in the field without really knowing. They don't
Mm-hmm.
really know. They just kind of come up with these things. And I think that's another thing that I want to dispel, right? Is like the height, weight, dress size. Do you have to is your physical prowess as important as your skills? No, it's not. So
Yeah.
back to the trolling thing, right? They thought I was trolling, but actually I was telling what my experience was.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, man.
And
So
I
no, the
know that.
channel isn't a troll, but I just get categorized as that.
Yeah,
So
and I knew that, but I just wanted to ask that question because
yeah.
I don't know, just to kind of,
No, you
because I
good.
knew what you was going, I knew what you was gonna say, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No,
but
it's all good. You give me an opportunity to open up even more. So yeah. Feel free, bring the questions,
Okay,
bring the hard
okay.
ones.
Well,
Yeah.
shout out to, let me give a couple shout outs right fast. Sharon
Yeah.
Hammonds, good to see you. Textual Chatter, good to see you. I appreciate you being in the building, man. Shout out to
Yeah.
you, bro. He be over there kicking up dust on Twitter. Nah, I'm just playing.
Yeah, he
Shout
showed
out
this
to him.
money.
Yeah.
I just started following him, man. He with it.
Yeah, he's cool, bro. I interviewed him a while back too. I don't know if you remember
Okay.
that one.
And
But
he done
yeah.
so many interviews with so many great security practitioners, man. I'm still catching up. I'm
Yeah,
still catching
yeah,
up. So you know.
yeah. And shout out to
Yeah.
Great Britain, man. I definitely appreciate the
Hmm.
small tokens. Like you
Hmm.
said, a token of appreciation for you brothers. I definitely appreciate it, man. Putting
Hmm.
information out, helping brothers get transition over into the tech field. Definitely, definitely. That's the whole point, man. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Shout out to Earl Owens as well. Let me see, Death Racer. Good to see you.
Hmm.
Cold Tech, man. Hey, so Gabe started his channel, Cold Tech.
Uh-oh.
You done had your channel, bro. You gotta. Hey, I want to see some more videos being put up. I know everybody busy, bro. I know how it
Yeah.
go, bro. But that's somebody. He's one of my Louisiana brethren. I'm trying to
Okay.
motivate him to, cause he knows a lot about Cisco, and
Mm.
I don't know. I just want to see him put out some more stuff, bro, so
Okay.
I can help you grow, man. Try to help as much as I can. I'm not the biggest YouTuber, but I just want to help people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially if they putting out good information.
Listen, you've done it enough with me to the point where you encouraged me to start a channel. So yeah, man. Cold Tech, listen to him.
For
Listen to
sure.
the YouTube big bro. Keep it techie.
Nah, and
Yeah.
then Brandy has no last name. Um, do you guys think the IT industry in general is oversaturated?
Mm,
And that kind of ties into a question I was gonna ask later on because I got some
sure.
stuff typed down, but and this is just a general question, so if you want to answer it, go for it.
Absolutely. I think that no, it is
Hmm.
not oversaturated. Not oversaturated at all. At this point, it is very difficult for people to find technical professionals or tech professionals in general, right? Whether on all levels, whether entry level, mid career, whether you're technical, whether you're non technical. I mean, it's very difficult for organizations to fill a lot of these roles, and right. And I think that that is a direct representation of the salaries, right? High demand means that that drives up the salary for a lot of tech roles, right? So it's one thing to, and this isn't bad, right? Depending upon where you are, but it's like a McDonald's fry cook, you can find them right anywhere, right? You can train them up in a day or two. But a person who is like you mentioned, Tech, a Cisco administrator, a Cisco engineer, those individuals are in less number.
Hmm.
So there's a higher demand for those individuals and a less demand for other individuals who can come a dime a dozen at times. So
Yeah.
I do think that so to answer your question plainly is that no, I don't think it's oversaturated. And as a manager, I'm always looking for new talent, right? I'm
Hmm.
always looking for new people to come into my organization and in my team. So yeah,
Now let me ask you
that's how I
this.
would answer it.
Do
Mhm.
you see this becoming a way to actually mentor and train people to actually, I don't know, fill roles within your organization or just in general?
Well, I wasn't like so part of the reason. So for the channel, it wasn't, but I think that that's a good idea, right?
Hmm.
If I run into
Yeah.
people who are very skilled,
Well, I
I
know
can
people that
definitely
do
bring them
that,
in.
and that's why I
Yeah.
was asking. Yeah, okay. I'm
Well, I
sorry.
could, man. Actually, let me write that down. Write that down for you. That's a good idea. But
Okay.
yeah, I was mainly using it for like one is to give back to individuals, letting
Hmm.
them know that it's okay to struggle and for you to get into cybersecurity, whether you're a career transitioner or somebody early in a career, and also to help my own personal brand, right? Putting myself out there, just like you mentioned before, putting myself out there as somebody who can give advice in this field. But
Hmm.
the third one is going to be to find people to hire. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
man. Thanks,
There we
man.
go. I got to get a percentage on that though. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
signing
don't
on
know.
bonuses and stuff.
Sign
You
on
know,
bonus.
I'm just playing.
No, I'm
Nah,
right there
but
with you.
oh, and shout out to, I just got a member, man. Shout out
Oh,
to
dope.
you. I definitely appreciate it, Amber, for signing up. This, yeah, appreciate it. I definitely
Oh,
appreciate it. Kev Tech, shout out to you, as well, man. Good to see you in the building.
ah,
Definitely appreciate it.
what's up, Kev Tech? Hey, he go crazy on LinkedIn. Kev
Oh
Tech,
yeah,
all on
yeah.
LinkedIn, man.
And
LinkedIn general.
let me ask you this: Discord.
Mhm.
Do you use
Yeah,
Discord?
I use Discord. I'm in other people's Discords, but I don't
Hmm.
have a Discord myself.
Okay.
it's at time can be difficult to manage
Yeah.
and to like, keep out the spam bots and
Yeah.
keep out the bad information. But
Hmm.
I think they are valuable for those people who had a bandwidth to manage them. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah, and that's my problem. I don't have the bandwidth to manage. Yo, my
Yeah.
son actually set up my Discord server.
Oh
He
wow.
knows it more than he knows it better than me.
You could put that on his resume. He's
I
a
know.
Discord administrator.
Yep. Yep.
That's his job. That'd be a good title. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So, and I lost that question I was gonna ask you.
That's all good.
It was dealing with um the job or the mentorship type.
Yeah.
But let me just go on and
Hmm.
what else man, I'm I'm losing it. So what else
No, it's all good. I did see another question in the
oh,
in the
go
chat.
ahead. If you see
It
something,
was about
it'll come
I
back to
think
me.
it so kind of another purpose, right? Because I do want to eventually get to the like I see these happen all the time. Like I don't think they're bad or anything, but just speaking about bandwidth and time, a lot of people have like tech like what is this like tech advice or tech consulting
Hmm.
type of things, and I think that I might have some time down the road for that because I'm thinking that as people are able to digest the information from my channel, they'll have more questions. They want more of a tailored type of response. Like I've even started responding to questions or comments under my videos, and I'm like, there might be people who want deeper levels of understanding of where they are and where they can go. So I've seen people do some of that. So I'm thinking in the future, I probably will have some little services or something, right? Like a little 30,
Hmm.
45-minute consultation piece or something added where people can get something more tailored for themselves and tailored about their career paths. So
Okay.
I think that that's also another thing that'll be down the line, but of
Okay.
course as a as
Yeah.
need basis because that can be a lot.
Yeah, yeah. That could take a lot of time away from,
Hmm.
your busy schedule, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
but I finally thought of that question I was gonna ask you. It's
Yep.
kind of controversial.
Hmm.
Um
Uh-oh.
there are a lot of cybersecurity channels out there.
There
Um,
are.
what distinguishes you or make you different from all those channels
Hmm.
out there? What will you be doing on your channel that will bring
Yeah.
something different to it?
Absolutely. I think a lot of those cybersecurity channels are great, right? A lot of
Hmm.
cybersecurity, the information they're throwing out there is great. And I don't have anything negative to say about like I don't think you're asking me to say
Yeah,
anything
I'm not
negative, but
asking. Nah,
but
I ain't
but I
trying to
don't
start
have
no
anything.
security beef, no
Right,
cyber
right,
beef.
right. Right. We struggle sec over here. We struggle second. But anyway, but nothing bad about to say about them. But just as your question mentioned, like what do you have to add? And I think I want to add kind of a level of vulnerability, right?
Hmm.
Because people don't typically want to display what has been difficult in their career, or people don't necessarily want to say what's been hard for them or express times in which they had failures. And I think that that's something that is different that I'll be bringing with my channel in that whole struggle, right? Because
Hmm.
and I don't really see it, right? I see people have conversations about their career fields, very kind of static type of information, but I think that I can bring a level of vulnerability in tech and kind of displaying not only the wins, but also at times the losses and the struggles and the hurdles that people have to go over to get to the point in which they're at. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I think I can add to the plethora of great cybersecurity channels that are already out there. So yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you
But we struggle second all day though. Like that's the set I'm banging. I'm banging struggle sec. I'm banging struggle sec, right?
yeah, there you
I
go.
got jumped in by KeepItTechie. KeepItTechie jumped me in. So
And Professor Black Ops.
Professor Blackoff jumped me in. Like all the people in the chat jumped me in. So that's who I'm repping, but I'm bringing vulnerability into
Hmm.
cybersecurity with the
Yeah.
struggle sec channel. So
Yeah, and that's
yeah, man.
that's that's cool, man. I mean, because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't talk about,
Hmm.
the things that they struggle with going through
Yeah.
this channel now. Uh Speaking of struggling,
Yeah.
will you talk about some of the things that you've had to deal with by managing a family as well as,
Mm,
working. Like
see
I've
that.
heard people say, what is it, work life balance, work life
Yeah.
balance.
Keep talking. I'm gonna write that.
Okay.
What'd you
Yeah,
say again? Work
work
life
life
balance.
balance.
I'm
Yeah.
always looking for new content. So
Yeah.
work life balance. Yes, I'm gonna be covering that in one of my future videos. Work life
Okay.
balance. No,
Mhm.
but yeah, no, that's a great idea. Like I think that I will be covering that, right? Because that's part of the cybersecurity struggle journey, right? It's
Mhm.
dealing not only with the technical aspects and the job politics, but also dealing with home things. I mean, we all
Mhm.
in COVID right now, right? So
Yeah.
we're much closer, like our jobs are much closer to our
Mhm.
lives outside of jobs. So yeah, I think that's a work life balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
covering that. I'll be
Okay.
covering that
For sure,
coming
for
soon.
sure. Yeah,
Coming
'cause
soon.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's tough, man. I mean, even, it's, I don't know, it's a different type of
Hmm.
environment working from home, especially if
Yeah.
if let's say your spouse doesn't work, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or she's on bed rest because
Hmm.
pregnancy or something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean,
Yep.
it's it's kind of difficult, I guess, getting that, because people need space, regardless
Yeah.
of how good your relationship is. Sometimes you
Yeah.
do need that space, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of times I look up from my computer and I can see my wife
Yeah. She
looking
right
at me
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah. Be
saying?
like
I'm
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, right
yeah, you
there, right?
gotta have
Like
that
you
balance.
speaking of like your spouse not like a spouse not working. My wife has been in school for the last 2 years and 4 months. She was in
Mm-hmm.
school for nursing anesthesia, and she just finished this past December. But like
Okay.
she hasn't worked for the last 2 years and 4 months. She was in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she had to be dedicated to her
That's
studies.
work, bro. I
Right,
know how that
right.
go,
So
but
like she
yeah.
definitely had a like that's her occupation, but she
Uh-huh.
didn't work, right? So
Mm-hmm.
she would
Yeah.
like so she was home more often than what someone would be. They're working a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
There were struggles that came along with it, but just like you mentioned, like I think it really kind of it tested the waters of that relationship, my relationship. Like
Mm-hmm.
will we come together more or will we separate more?
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
found things to do together. Like we actually came together a lot more. Like at
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the pandemic, we were playing tennis, we were playing chess together. We found all types of shows to watch. Where I typically don't watch a lot of Netflix or shows, but we found a lot of things to watch. So I think that's a struggle within itself of really finding that balance and really finding what that's like. So
Yeah.
yeah, more to come on that for sure.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? That's excellent. You know what I'm saying? And my
Yeah.
wife in there laughing in the chat.
What's he laughing about? What's he
she
laughing about?
she's just laughing
I
at
said
me,
something
probably
funny.
what I said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
so um so
I'm seeing some questions in the
oh, go
chat.
ahead, go ahead. If you see something and you wanna
Yeah,
respond to it, go ahead.
I see somebody say, I don't even want to like kill their name, but it says in terms of cybersecurity, how far should one go with certs through one's journey? And I see they mentioned like the Security Plus, CEH, Pentest Plus, CISA, like those are a lot of different certs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that it all depends on what your goal is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you want to be very technical, a subject matter expert, um, you probably want to follow a designated type of cert path
Mm-hmm.
that aligns with that. Now, this right, CISSP is very general, and it's typically comes with like 5 years of experience before you can even sit for the exam. But you can do like you can have like you could take it before that 5 years of experience, but a lot of times it's for like management and up typically. But even if you're looking at some of those CEHs, right, certified ethical hacker, that more goes over like that offensive security or the red
Mm-hmm.
team piece, where it's not very practical. It's just questions that you answer, but it does give you an understanding of some of those cybersecurity vulnerabilities and attack vectors. That's what it gave me. So I say that to say that every single one of those certs comes with certain things that would add to your career. And I
Mm-hmm.
think picking a cert path is best rather than kind of just getting a whole like a hodgepodge of certs that don't really connect and talk to one another. So yeah. And I'm sure I'll be addressing more of that on the Struggles Like Cybersecurity channel.
Yeah, and
And we'll go more into that.
I didn't know how deep you wanted to go as far
Yeah.
as um talking about certs and
Yeah.
education and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Well, let me ask you this then, since you answered that question, are you gonna
Mhm.
cover like continued education?
Yeah. I think that, and that's the thing about cybersecurity, is that it literally is, you're continually educating yourself on the insides of cybersecurity for your entire career if you stay in the
Mm-hmm.
field. Right. You're learning about different vulnerabilities, right? The log for J just came out not too long ago. Right. A big vulnerability found, a lot of organizations doing remediations for it, but you're also learning about new techniques. Say, for instance, you're doing like the offensive security, whether red teaming or pen testing. You got to stay up to date on what the latest tricks, like TTPs, techniques, tactics, and procedures of the
Mm-hmm.
bad guys,
Yeah.
because you want to be able to test environments for if those are there, if those are happening. So you're learning all of the time. And even looking at the new vector, right? I would consider like a new attack vector is that of cloud computing is spreading, like it's already spread across so many different environments. What are the
Mm-hmm.
security mechanisms around that? Well, what are the security controls that you apply to a cloud environment that would help an organization to be more secure from the bad guys?
Mm-hmm.
So, as it concerns continue education, it doesn't even necessarily have to be certs. It doesn't even necessarily have to be degrees. It
Mm-hmm.
can even be just knowing the blogs. Like when something, like when an incident happens, where do you go on Twitter? LinkedIn. Who are the individuals releasing different GitHubs and different repositories for indicators of compromises and TTPs of bad guys? And it's like you're always learning. So
Yeah.
continue education means that you're always learning. So I say
Exactly.
all that to say that. Yeah.
Nah, that's true, man. I mean,
Mhm.
and even just me being in the tech field, and I don't
Yeah.
even, deal with cyber. Well, we all deal with cyber security in some capacity, but I don't,
Yeah.
do it like what you do. Um,
Mhm.
I find myself following a lot of that stuff, and yeah,
Yeah.
it ties into some of the content I talk about on my channel, but
Mhm.
that
I saw
I
your dark
follow
web
that
joint.
stuff.
I saw
Yeah.
your dark web stream. I saw you. I
I
saw you
was I
mess with
was
the onion.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so let me ask you this. Are you gonna be covering anything dealing with
Mhm.
automation as well?
Um,
Like cybersecurity automation or
yeah. I think automation is like a buzzword at times, right?
mm-hmm.
Because I think that we've already been automating for a long time,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of times in cybersecurity, especially if you're talking about like offensive security, automation has come in the form of scripts.
Yeah.
So there's different projects. I was just going over one today. It's called Atomic Red Teaming, where it
Mm-hmm.
has pre-cooked scripts. It's a whole GitHub for it. Here, let me find it and put it in chat. But Atomic Red Teaming, it pretty much uses the MITRE ATT&CK framework, and
Mm-hmm.
it scripts each of those different techniques identified within the MITRE ATT&CK framework, and you can fire it off via command line. So you can open up a command line within Windows or within Kali Linux or within Mac OS, and you can fire off scripts to automate different attacks in environments. So
Okay.
that atomic red teaming, like you would have that atomic red teaming tool automating a lot of those attacks, and then you would also set up some defensive mechanisms to see if you can detect when those attacks do something. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like firing off malware in environments, but what it's really doing is that it's simulating and automating different attacks in environments. So I think things like that are already occurring. Like that's been
Mm-hmm.
occurring for years and years and years
Oh
within
yeah.
cybersecurity.
And I
Yep.
agree with you there because
Yep.
I mean I was writing batch scripts back in 2000, early 2000. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow.
Like,
Yeah.
just automating certain tasks,
Hmm.
especially as a systems administrator. That was something I had to do, and that was just using the command line. Or if I
Yep.
need to gather a whole bunch of IP addresses, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You could do a lot of that stuff from using a batch script. You know what I'm saying? Or
Absolutely.
moving files around, whatever. Um,
Yep. So you're speaking about the bash script, but this
yeah.
can be done in Python.
Yep.
Atomic Red Team and all of this script automation is done in PowerShell. They have, I think they do have a Python interpreter for it, but
Okay.
that's it right there. It's by Red Canary. I just
Okay.
threw it. It's called Atomic Red Team. So that's where some of that cybersecurity automation is already occurring. So I don't think it's a new thing, but I could cover some of that, right? Breaking down some of those concepts
Yeah,
for
if you want
people.
to, if you want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. It was
Hmm.
something I saw um that popped up. Oh, what's up, Shaganulu? And I apologize. I'm just trying to.
Something new.
I know it's a question I saw. Which yeah, this one right here. Which cybersecurity job titles or an easier fit for career changes? And that's what I was gonna ask you.
Mm.
Um, for the people, because you brought up people transitioning into the cyber field,
Yes.
and so
Yes.
is that something that you'll focus on as well with the
Absolutely.
content?
Absolutely, right? Because I'm going to focus on that because I was a career transitioner. I had a
Mm-hmm.
very traditional electrical engineering, then nuclear engineering background, and I didn't have any previous exposure to cybersecurity before I jumped in the field. So I am a career transitioner, and I'll go look at her putting super chats. My wife putting super chats.
Appreciate it.
Anyway,
Appreciate it.
she wow. But yeah, I was a career transitioner myself, and I'll go over some of that, like what type of skills do you need, or really I think take an inventory of your current skills and using that in order to get into cybersecurity. So example, I don't know if Citizen Lewis still here in the chat, but he spoke about him wanting to get into cybersecurity, but he has a traditional like front end and back end or full stack web development
Mm-hmm.
experience. And one thing that we were talking about, and I send him stuff on Twitter all the time, like little books and things about web app cybersecurity and different try hack me rooms and different resources. I think that he can easily sell himself as a developer who is transitioning or adding cybersecurity to his already established skill set. So he
Mm-hmm.
already has a web development skill set. And we were going through that at Try Hack Me together. He was seeing things like he knew what certain tags, like whether it's HTML or JavaScript, he was able to use a lot of that in order to understand what was happening with security.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking for career transitioners, it's very important for people to take inventory of where they currently are and take that and then add cybersecurity onto it to increase their overall skill sets.
Yeah.
So I think that that's one of the pieces that I really want to go over.
Yeah, and I 100% agree. And that's why
Yeah.
whenever I have conversations about cybersecurity with different people, I
Hmm.
always say that those fundamentals are important
Absolutely.
because and that'll help you that'll help you get into the field, but
Hmm.
also the same thing, well, you I can say the same thing about someone that has never worked in the field, but as far as
Hmm.
someone transitioning over, um, they need to look at those skills that they already have because they may have the skills that you will learn in the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Basically, what you're saying, like he was a front end developer, that those skills transition over. It's because
Very
you
well.
understand how the system actually works, so you can be
Hmm.
better at protecting it. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Absolutely.
understand it. So those skills
Yep.
do transition.
And I
Yep.
think that some of those initial roles, right, those system administrators or network administrators or network engineers or titles like full stack developer,
Mm-hmm.
those are very good feeder roles into like a cybersecurity analyst or a
Exactly.
cybersecurity career or a software security engineer, right? Those are very good feeders into cybersecurity roles. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, and I that's why I talk about um how I transition from
Hmm.
different roles and how certain things has helped me, like me
Right.
being a systems administrator, understanding Active Directory, group policy, and all that stuff has
Yeah.
helped me with managing a server, and all I'm
Yeah.
really responsible for is the database that's installed on the server. But by me
Yes.
understanding the fundamentals of the server,
Hmm.
being as a systems admin, then I can better manage that system and keep it running
Right.
functioning properly. So
I mean,
yeah.
even speaking about some of your system administrative background, when I'm doing an internal penetration test, I need that knowledge. I need the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge that you have as a system administrator because the thing that administers the accounts, sets up the security policies, is all happens within Active Directory for most enterprise environments. So I
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to blend in with what's happening. I need to understand those network protocols like NTLM and those like Kerberos and all those
Yeah.
other protocols that are spoken from a system administrative perspective, or even some of those command line tools. Like I need to know a netstat or a IP config or a WMI. I need to know these Windows internals, and this is stuff that comes from a person who is a system administrator. And I think that system administrator is a very good feeder role into that of like a cybersecurity analyst or somebody who's doing more of a defensive type of role, because
Mm-hmm.
you're able to understand, okay, is this should this user have the capability to access this file system?
Yeah.
Should they, like, what's the password policies for certain individuals? If this person is a domain admin, what am I doing with their credentials, and are they staying logged in to certain machines? Like, all of this information comes from being a system administrator, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's a very good feeder role into that of the cybersecurity role. So
Okay. Now, let me
mhm,
ask you this, and this ties to a question that popped up in the chat from Anthony Arrington. I definitely
mhm,
appreciate you asking this. He says, and he's asking Professor Black Ops, but he's touching on exactly what we're talking about. He basically says,
absolutely,
so if you're a Python developer, you
yeah,
can transition to cybersecurity. But
yep.
how? So I'm assuming he's asking Professor Black Ops how
I'm
um
getting a book
he can
right here.
transition. Yeah, and
Hmm.
and and one thing I can say is I know that Python is used to develop a whole bunch of applications out that are out there
Yes.
currently being used. And let me let you go because this is about you. Let me let you
No, you're
answer the
right.
question because well, okay, well, all I was gonna say was that
Hmm.
since you understand how to write the code, then you can troubleshoot it and figure out where vulnerabilities are and apply fixes for those vulnerabilities if there are any within the application that was being built using
Absolutely.
Python. So your knowledge of knowing Python will help you prevent
Yeah.
a Python application from being vulnerable at
Yeah.
some point. Now, if you want to add to it, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And even think about it, right? I mean, the thing about I was gonna say, what's I gonna say? I had the thought, but then it just left me. Um anyway, this is a good book. So speaking about a Python developer, this is called Black Hat Python. It's made by an organization. It's not, it keeps trying to focus on my face. There we go. There you go. If I hide, it shows it. This is a very good book that literally goes over Python being used as an offensive mechanism. So
Hmm.
one thing that they go over is setting up different servers using Python to create like key lockers. And those are things that where if it runs on a machine, it's able to log all of the keystrokes of somebody who's typing
Oh
on
yeah.
their keyboard. And you can use things like regex to identify whether it's a phone number or a
Hmm.
social security number or username and password. I'm trying to think of what else did I learn from here. You can just do a lot of testing in cybersecurity using Python. So being a Python developer is right hand in hand with some of the tasks that you would do as a penetration tester or a
Hmm.
red team member. So
Yeah,
being a
and
Python developer is a prerequisite for sure.
yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't think about that side of it as well. A lot of
Yeah.
applications are written to do tests. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
times, I think you've talked about it. You had to build
Hmm.
something for a actual test that you were working on or running a cybersecurity. I don't know, some type of vulnerability check or whatever,
Yeah.
by building an application or something or building something short using
Yeah.
Python.
I wrote something in Python to be able to, what was it? It was something with ARP, so address resolution protocol. So address resolution protocol is a protocol, a network protocol that's used in order to match IP addresses or internet protocol addresses with particular MAC addresses with
Hmm.
devices. So I wrote a Python program to search on my home network to find all of the different devices that are talking on my network, and it
Okay.
lists them out using the MAC addresses, and the MAC addresses are directly associated with the vendors. So Apple has a certain MAC address, or
Yeah.
the front of the MAC address is associated with the vendor. So yeah, you can do that for a lot of different tasks using Python, and I just know a lot of people who are Python aficionados that are very successful in cybersecurity. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. And there goes Citizen Loop right there,
hey,
confirming what you said. He said I wasn't aware
yeah,
how big web application security was. Yeah.
huge. huge. And
Yep.
bug bounties, right? So
Mm-hmm.
people who do bug bounties, individuals who kind of contract themselves out, pretty much all they're doing is web application penetration testing. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
looking like an organization opens up a bounty to find for people to find vulnerabilities. A lot of times you're connecting and searching for web vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a big thing.
Cool. So next question is,
Oh
um,
man.
you planning on releasing any well, and then I know this will be in the future, but are you planning
Mhm.
on like doing any, I don't know, books or
Oh
uh
man.
something? And I think I talked
Maybe.
to you about this
It was your
before.
idea. All right. It was your idea. So I'm kind of thinking about it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that will be more down the line when I start
Yeah.
some of those consultative services,
Mm-hmm.
maybe releasing a book along with that. That might be something good. Or even just like a small ebook on a particular topic.
Okay.
So I gotta and I know my man's textual
Chatter.
yes, your textual chatter. He has an ebook out right
Yeah.
now too that goes over some cybersecurity career information. I think that's a very valuable resource. I haven't read it, but I've been hearing good things about it.
Oh
So I
yeah.
might do something like that down the line. But yeah, I kind of want to hit one thing at a time. I really want
Oh
to make
yeah.
this YouTube channel successful, and then start branching out, make it into a system, and growing it from there. So, but no,
Okay.
that's a good idea. I definitely you definitely put that bug in my ear, just like you did it for this channel. So who knows?
Cool.
It might take the same route
Mm-hmm.
as the channel did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Now you brought up bug bounty, and I just want to say,
yeah,
are you do well? And I know you be limited
hmm
on time or whatever, but
yeah,
as far as doing bug bounties, kind of
yeah.
like live or trying to, I don't
Oh
know.
man.
Do you think you might do something like that in the future or?
Uh, I don't know. I was thinking about doing like some packet analysis stuff. So
Okay.
packets are like network conversations that are
And I don't
happening
want you to
between
put out all
machines.
your ideas into the
Well, no, it's
into
cool.
the
Listen,
space.
listen.
Okay.
Listen, if they think they could use it,
Yeah.
do it too. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
the more information out
Oh
there,
yeah.
the better. So I'm thinking about doing like some packet analysis stuff, also
Mm-hmm.
some incident response stuff, maybe some malware reverse engineering, and also some like pen testing stuff. But like live bug bounties, I don't know. I haven't really done bug bounties in my career.
Okay.
Like that's a special type of skill set that I don't
Mm-hmm.
have. Or
Okay.
let me not say I don't have. I just haven't explored it. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
not that.
That makes
But
sense.
other stuff, other technical stuff is coming.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So if you guys are not subscribed to Gabe, just go on and subscribe over to Struggle Security. I have the
Yeah.
website actually. I've had it on the screen for a while now, but
Yeah.
and I also
Appreciate
have
it.
it pinned. I
Hmm.
really want um Gabe to get, a good amount of people over there because he's been adding value to the tech community for a very long time. Like what he was saying, you see him on stream after stream, from different, people,
Yeah.
people's channel, you know what I'm saying, and giving out those gems and putting the information out there. And of
Hmm.
course it helped people, but it's people been looking for the source, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're right.
And that's
You're
every
right.
every time I've interviewed you on my channel, you've said, or someone has asked me, or someone has left a
What's your
comment.
channel?
What's his
What's your
channel?
channel?
What's his
What's your
channel? I was
channel?
like, man, I
I
don't know,
know.
man. I'm waiting on him.
Well, it's here.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
here. And if you asked that question before, go ahead and subscribe to
yeah.
Struggle Security
Definitely.
YouTube channel. Boom.
Definitely, yeah.
Hmm.
And I appreciate all you guys coming out. I didn't think it was gonna be this big of a
Oh, it was
turnout, but
lit.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh yeah.
and and hopefully all you guys went over and subscribed to Gabe's channel, man. I definitely
Absolutely.
would appreciate it if you guys do that. And
Yeah.
shout out for everybody that came through to help me and show support. And I have a big interview coming
Nice.
this weekend with
Okay.
CJ Unplugged. I don't know if you guys
Hmm.
ever heard of him, but he covers a lot of tech,
Hmm.
consumer, tech, Max. So you might want to be in the building, Gabe, because
Yeah.
he's a Mac fan. He's a Mac fanboy.
Listen, I stay with a Mac. Man, you know I
Yeah,
stay with a
yeah, I
Mac. What
know.
you mean? Stay with a Mac?
Well,
What you mean?
I'm about to try to transition him over to
Yeah.
Linux. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
get him over there on the
Okay.
dark side. No, I'm just
Listen, I stay with a Mac. What you mean, man? I stay with a Mac.
Yo, yo.
Yeah.
But is it any other
Yeah.
information you want to put out about your channel or anything people
Man.
can look forward to?
Not at the time. I just want people to go over there and subscribe and look out for more information coming out. Where again, like the tagline is normalizing struggling in cybersecurity for those people who weren't there earlier. And I got videos. I'm actually going to try to upload videos at least once or twice a week, maybe even more as we're coming down the line. I think my editor he doesn't have a whole bunch of bandwidth, but I'm going to try to do at least two videos a week, probably even more. So look out for more information. And probably the next one that's going to drop is going to be about looking at places that you can find salaries for the roles that you're interviewing for. So like places on the internet where people are saying, hey, I just got this particular offer and this is the offer breakdown. I go over like 3 or 4 different resources of places that I've used. And I've actually taken those salaries and been able to negotiate more for myself after seeing what people have been getting offered. So that's one of my other videos coming out soon. And again, just like I said, please please go over to Struggle Sec or Struggle Security, where I'm normalizing struggling in cybersecurity. All right. That's it,
Yeah.
man. I don't have nothing else.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
anything else for me?
Yeah. Nah, that's all I got. I don't want to hold you too long, man. And shout out to everybody that came through. I hope you guys go over and subscribe to Gabe. I look forward to what he's gonna put out in the community. You know what I'm saying? So shout
And I
out to
was even
everybody
hearing.
again. Oh, go ahead.
I would say this before I leave because I know Citizen Lou he kind of plugged me with it. Like how like people kind of have similar type of content that they cover on their channel, and then they start to kind of get together, kind of make a little group or whatever. And I was in Citizen Lou had spoke about he was talking about like the techosphere or something.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do something like that coming up. We'll see what happens. We can increase the bandwidth to this type of topics. And just like you said, I think it helps in representation and whatnot. So
yeah, and
shout out
it
to Lou.
brings in it.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, that's another reason and I'm glad you brought that up because that's another reason I always share people. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be the only voice.
Yeah.
We've always talked about. You bring something different to the table. I bring something different to the table. You know, a bunch of different people bring different things to the table. I'm not good at Cisco stuff. That's why I talk about Cole's Tech. Send people over there. I'm not good at cybersecurity. That's why I send people over to you and Professor Black Ops, as well as your boy over at Alpha Cyber. You know what I'm saying? Devin over there. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many people out here that can add value. And that's why I share and I try to bring people on the channel and try to put people in front of people that may not know that this person covers this topic, because that may be something that you're interested in and you just over here because I don't know, you like the way I look or whatever, or you like the way I talk or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that the topics that you want to actually focus in on are on someone else's channel. So I don't mind sharing the wealth, so to speak. I mean, it's all about helping people for me. So if you find the help over on Tech G's channel, which I talk about him all the time, then hey, go over there. We all bring something of value, and we all can, I don't know, find our audience from the audience that we all
and I think
bring.
that it also helps in that whole idea of representation. A lot of these people talk about, oh, black people aren't represented in the tech field. Like, yeah, we are. Here we are. And I think this helps to spread that representation, right? If somebody's kid is coming out of high school, if they're coming out of college, people are like, wow, like I can get into that just like these brothers have gotten into it. So I think that representation piece is something that I think is also a value of what you're doing and what I'm looking to do starting my new channel too, is that increasing the representation of people like me, people who look like me, within the field. So yeah, just throwing it out there, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, hey, shout out to everybody that came through again. I'm gonna go down and end it for me and Gabe start cooking again. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody and peace.
Yeah. All right, peace out.
And I never had the outro ready.
No, you good? Can they still hear us?
Hold on.